cause thy belly to eat. Fill thy bowels with this roll. So he says, fill thy bowels and eat with this roll, talking about the scriptures. Telling him to read the scriptures, get into the Bible. He's telling Ezekiel. So Ezekiel now begins to eat. Go ahead. Eat this roll that I give thee. Then did I eat it, and it was in my mouth as honey for sweetness. So now Ezekiel says he began to eat the scriptures. Right? He said it was sweet to him, right? So when we first come into this truth, guess what? We are excited. We're glad. We're excited to know that we're Israelites. All of this, we get joyful, but then all of a sudden, something starts happening. We get, I know we're the people. I know we're chosen. I know we are the 12 tribes. But then this is what happens next. Watch this. And he said unto me, Son of man, go get thee out unto the house of Israel and speak my words unto them. For thou art not sent to a people of strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel. So you're not sent to strange people with strange speech. You're sent to the Israelites. They what? They understood the Bible. They understood the language of the scriptures. Let's keep going. Not too many people of strange speech and of a hard language, whose words thou cannot understand. Surely, had I sent thee to them, they would have hearkened unto me. But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, but they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel are impudent and hard-hearted. So he says if he had sent them to the other nations, the other folks, they would gladly receive, because they're doing that now. They glad to be calling themselves Ashkenazi. They glad to be calling themselves Palestinians and the Amalek and the real Jews. This is what they do. But we don't even understand that he said, I'm not sending you to people who understand. And that's why we are here now, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American. He didn't send us to nobody of hard speech. We all speak darn near the same language. Let's keep reading. Verse 8, Behold, I have made thy face strong against their faces, and thy forehead strong against their forehead. As an element, harder than flint have I made thy forehead. So he's saying right there, he's made our mind hard against their mind. Because why? They'll try to come with these doctrines. We'll come back to that. Give me Colossians 2 and 8. The reason he said make your mind hard against their mind is because when you come into the knowledge of the scriptures, this is what you deal with. Watch this. Colossians chapter 2 verse 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ. So he says, beware, beware. When you go by somebody's house and you see beware dog, that means what? You ain't going in the gate. So he says, beware, lest men spoil you through vain philosophy. What that mean? The pastor telling you it's okay to do Christmas, Mother's Day, Thanksgiving, Easter. You can eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobster. We all one in Jesus Christ. Teaching you all these lies. Beware. Let's read. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 12. And further by these, my son, be admonished of making of many books. There is no end. And much study is weariness of the flesh. That's what many people doing. They reading in every book. They into give me that Titus English genealogy. They constantly reading books, digging into Quran and digging into this and that. Now, here's the thing. If you're digging into it to pull out the fallacies in it, that's different. But if you're reading it to try to pair it with the Bible and try to make it say what the scriptures say, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. Titus chapter 3 verse 9. But avoid foolish questions and genealogies and contentions and strivings about the law, for they are unprofitable and vain. A man that is guilty after the first and second admonition reject. So we ought to reject. So he's saying beware, instead of trying to chase all these endless genealogies, trying to understand this, trying to understand that, because why? It's going to lead you in a hole. It's going to lead you in a rabbit hole. So now, let's go. So it was in Ezekiel 3. Now give me Zephaniah 3 and 9. 3 and 9. Zephaniah 3 and 9. So We're dealing with how not to let it depart. So Ezekiel said, go to the people and make your mind hard against their mind. We're coming back to that. But Zephaniah 3 and 9. Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 9. But then will I turn to the people of pure language, that they may all call upon the name of the Lord, to serve him with one consent. So the Most High said, he's going to turn to us a pure language. He's going to turn to us, yes sir, he's going to turn to us a pure language with a pure heart. What that mean? Right now you got Greek, Hebrew, Latin, you got Moorish language, you got all these different languages, but at the end of the day he says, in the end I'm going to turn you to a pure language. So are we arguing over Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yahweh? Why are we arguing over these names? Whatever name you came into the truth with, we're with it. But at the end of the day, we know it ain't Jesus. We know it ain't JC. We know it ain't that. So at the end of the day, beware and be wise, lest man spoil you. So you got something? So we're going to deal with a little more of that language. So the Most High is going to turn us back to a pure language. Let's read. Exodus chapter 9 verse 1. Then the Lord said unto Moses, go unto Pharaoh and tell him, thus said the Lord God of the Hebrews, let my people go. He told him of the Hebrews. It wasn't just anybody. It was Abraham the Hebrew. So these things are important. So let's go back. Ezekiel 3. It was at 7. So it says, make your face hard against their face. Make your face hard against their face, harder than flint. Where we at? Verse 9. Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 9. As an adamant harder than flint have I made thy forehead. Fear them not, neither be dismayed at their looks, though they be rebellious heart. So, even though they looking at us crazy, what you mean mugging? I don't like y'all. What y'all need to turn that speaker off and get off the corner. They ain't nothing but a bunch of niggas with Bibles. That's what most people thinking anyway. But the reality is, we out here to draw the nation of Israel. Let's prove that. We coming right back. Isaiah 58 and 1. Isaiah 58 and 1. Turn that speaker off. They're too loud. But the Bible that commanded us to do something. And that's what we got to do. Let's read. Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. Show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sin. So that's what we're supposed to do. It's to show the tribe and the people of Israel their crime, their sin. That's a nice remark. Their crime, their sin. So let's go back, Ezekiel. So he says, I didn't send you to a strange people. So we ain't out here talking to nobody who don't understand it. And he says the other nations will gladly take it, and that's what they're doing now. They're gladly taking it. Let's finish this. Let's go. Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 10. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, all my words that I shall speak unto thee, receive in thy heart, and hear with thy ears. And go, get thee to them of the captivity, unto the children of thy people, and speak unto them, and tell them, thus said the Lord Yahweh, whether they will hear, or whether they will forbear. So whether they hear or forbear. Didn't Paul say the same thing? Romans, let's get that. Romans chapter 3. I think it's 3. This is the same thing Paul said. So he says, go to them whether in the captivity. That's why we out here. Our people are captive in the mind. They're captive. They don't know that they're Israelites. They're captive. They think they're Mexicans and Aztecs and Mayans and Jamaicans and Haitians and Puerto Ricans. They think that they are these different names. But the Bible says they will be bywords. So we're going to find out what the Bible says. So he says, so what if they don't hear? Still go to them. Let's see what Paul said. Let's read. Romans chapter 3, verse 3. But what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? Yahweh forbid. Yea, let Yahweh be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sins, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. So the Bible says we're going to overcome when we are judged. Now, I'm going to deviate real quick. Check it. So I'm going to deviate real quick. So he says, you shall overcome when you're judged. What that mean? When the other nations come at us or come against us, lying on us, saying stuff that's not true, making up things that are not true. Let's find out what that means. Give me Matthew 24. 24, yeah. Yeah. Matthew chapter 24, verse 4. And Yahweh shall answer and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. So many have came and said that they are Yahweh Shai or Yahuwah. They're saying that that's who they are. But we know the truth of the matter is that's not who they are. They're saying that the white image of who Christ is or who Yahweh Shai Yahusha is. They're saying what? Oh, that's a white man with blonde hair, blue eyes. That's not true. We know he's a dark-skinned man. We know he's a dark-skinned man with real hair and bronze skin like he burned in a furnace. But we have to be the ones to go back and correct this. Read that again. Matthew chapter 24, verse 4. And Yahweh shall answer and say unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Go down, give me verse 10. Matthew 24, verse 10. Then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. So he says, many shall be offended. You dare not come out here teaching that the blacks are the real Jews. You dare not come out here teaching that the northern kingdom are the so-called Mexicans and so forth and so on. You dare not come out here and say that. Wow. Read that again, verse 10. Many shall what? Many, and then shall many be offended. So many shall be offended. Wow. And shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. So just like the Christian church, the pastors lead many astray. You don't have to keep nothing in the Old Testament. It's done away with. Jesus died for your sin, which he did, but you still got to keep the commandments. Watch this. Matthew 24, verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So he says the love of many shall wax cold. What is love? What is love? Love is keeping the commandments. So the love of many gonna wax cold. They're gonna say, I can go kill, I can go steal, I can go rob, I can go murder, I can go do what I want to do, I can go sleep with my brother's wife, I can go do this and that, and celebrate Christmas, put an Easter bunny that don't have nothing to do with the day itself, instead of doing Passover. So these are the things that they'd rather do. So let's go back. Where was we at? So we finished Ezekiel. So he says, go into them into the captivity. So now, let's deal with a little bit of captivity. Give me First Maccabees. What is the captivity? What is the captivity? I'm just jumping straight to them. There's many more. I could have started with Babylon. I understand online. I could have went to Babylon first. But I'm going to just hop on to the point. We'll start at... start at 9. We'll read 9. And then we'll hop to 11. First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 9. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them. Many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. So now, evils were multiplied in the earth after who? Go up to verse 1. After King who? Antiochus, Alexander the Great. After he died. Go back up to verse 10. After Alexander died, what happened? His sons put crowns on him. Verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. So he says, let us go make a covenant with the heathen round about us. Let's find out what the Most High said about that. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. Verse 3. So he says, make no covenant. They made a covenant with the heathen. But let's see what the commandment was before that. Verse, where is it at? Make no... Verse 3. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give it to his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take it to thy son. For they will turn away the son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. All right, so let's go to verse 2 is where I want it. I see it now. Verse 2. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 2. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them, and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. So he says, make no covenant with them. First Maccabees, let's go back. First Maccabees 1:10. So he says, make no covenant with these nations. Now, what did the Israelites do? Verse 10 again. Verse 11. First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. But since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So that's what most of our people say when they come into this truth and they got to give up bacon, shrimp, crab, lobster, holidays, so forth. So they can't work that little overtime they work. Now it's going to affect it something. Now they saying, well, I was doing better off when I was serving the devil. I was doing better off when I was doing things my way. I was better off when I was trying to do things in an unrighteous manner versus trying to do it the way the Father said. So he's saying the Israelites went out and said, you know what, we're going to cut a covenant with the other nations. Keep going. So like, you got something? Watch this. First Maccabees chapter 2 verse 10. What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gathered of her spoil? So what nation? So think about that, from the Arab man to the Chinese man to the Hindu man, Egyptian man. Everybody has had a hand in our nation. To this day, they still fighting over the land, still fighting over the territory. Look, give me that Joel 3, I think it's 2 and 6. So watch this, Joel 2 and 6. They took all of our land. Watch this, sold us to the Grecians. That's what I want. Sold the boy for wine. Is that in 2? Yes, 3 and 6. That's sold. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, 3. Watch it. Joel chapter 3 verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they may drink. So they took over all the kingdoms. This is what they did. They took over everything that we had. So the Bible is clear. So let's go back. First Maccabees. So these are things that we have to be taking account for ourselves. So we're going through the history. We're going through the biblical understanding of what the Bible actually says. Because why? Many of our people, even watching online, you have a misunderstanding or a misinterpreted thought. So we're not just out here for the people, but for you as well. So let's go back. Let's finish. Where was we at? 12. First Maccabees chapter 1 verse 12. So that the vines pleased them well. The assertion of the people were so far herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen. And that's what our people do. They go get their pastor's license. They go get their preacher's license to become a pastor and this and that. Gay license to do what the other nations are doing, instead of saying, you know what, the Most High has called me to a different life. I can't do what the other nations do. I got to do what the Israelites do. We're going to prove that the next verse down. Watch this. First Maccabees 1 and 14. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen, and made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. They were sold to do mischief. What that mean? Wicked stuff. Now, let me show you mischief is a sin. This is part of my head. Proverbs 6:16. What is mischief? They sold themselves to do mischief. Now, do you think the Most High likes that? No. Let's see what he say about it. Proverbs chapter 6 verse 16. These 6 things does the Lord hate. Yes, 7 are abomination unto him. A proud lip, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and a heart that devises wicked imagination. Feet that be swift and run into mischief. Feet that be swift and run into mischief. So they sold themselves to do mischief, but the Most High hate those things. So why is it that we quick to run to gossip, quick to run to mess, quick to run to drama, quick to run to stuff that's obscure, that don't have no sense? Because we love the devil. And that's what most of our people love. They want to die. It's like they want to get burned up. And I know many people are saying, I just want a way out. But that's what we're out here teaching today, is that you can have that way out if you realize who you are according to the scriptures. So the so-called black man, Hispanic, Native American, we are the Israelites according to the Bible. Let's read.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 16. A wise man feareth and departed from evil, but the fool rageth and is confident.
He is confident. What they mean? Confident in what he knows. I'm good. Only God can judge me.
Oh my God.
I'm my God. I'm not this. I'm not that. I always pull it. Psalms 14. Psalms 14. This is what they do. I'm my own person. I don't need nobody. Psalms 14 and 1. Can't nobody tell me. Can't nobody judge me but God. Okay, well they say there is no God, so let's see what the Most High calls it.
Psalms chapter 14, verse 1. The fool hath said in his heart. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good.
So it says the fool has said it. So when somebody say, there's no God, love your cousin Pookie, and you say, you a damn fool. You say that, then look at you crazy. Well, who you gonna fool? People call me no fool. Well, the Bible says, you a fool. Let's read.
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are silent children, and they have no understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge.
That's what our people, they have no knowledge. They have no knowledge to do good to their brother or sister. They have no knowledge to try to do the right thing for their brother. They have no knowledge to want to not hold their sister out. They have no knowledge to not want to be twerking and be a section red or getting blonde and yellow and blue and pink, all this stuff in their hair. They have no knowledge of this. Young men standing at the head of every street, ready to fight, ready to shoot. They have no knowledge. Let's read.
Numbers chapter 12, verse 11. And Aaron said unto Moses, at last, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not thy sin upon us, what we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned.
And that's what we're doing. We're operating foolishly, thinking that we pleasing the Father. But then when we go home at night, we worried about, am I going to go to heaven? If I die tonight, would I go? If I die tonight? We have all these questions instead of solidifying it now. Because why? We don't care to say, you know what? Let me drop my ego a little bit. Let me drop who I think I might be. Let me put my ego to the side. And many of us walking around prideful, saying, you know what? To heck with the Bible. I don't believe that. That's a white man book. Forget that. I don't care about reading that. But we're going to cover that in a minute too. You got something? Second Chronicles 7:14. But this is what he's called us to. Let's read.
Second Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and will heal their land.
So we got to humble ourselves. We got to say, you know what? I didn't know what I thought I knew. I know we're still on disobedience and captivity. That's why we're here. Because we were disobedient. Because we were arrogant. We were puffed up. We were prideful. Give me that Baruch, First Baruch 3, I think it's 21. It's toward the end. They are stiff-necked. Let's see. 3 and 4. Go to chapter 2. I think it's 2 and 4. Yeah, that's what I want.
Luke chapter 2, verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember thyself.
And where?
In the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves.
And that's what we're trying to do. We remember that our forefathers were black in the Bible. We know that from Moorish to again, Aztecs, Mayans, to everybody, they want to say, well, what about the pyramids? We built them too. When we migrated over here, that's in 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 40. This is the thing. We've searched the scriptures to know, guess what? We remembered who we were in captivity. How am I in captivity? Because you still got to pay taxes to another nation. Anytime you got to pay taxes to another nation, you're not free. You're not free. Got something? You are not free. So, So we understand that we went into captivity for those reasons. Now watch this. Go back to 1 Maccabees. We're gonna finish that up. We got a few more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more. So watch this. 1 and 41. So watch this.
1 Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all shall be one people.
And he wrote to everybody should be one people. That is when captivity began under the Greeks. Under the Greeks. So I'm showing that to say, at this point, he done conquered everybody. Spain, Europe, Rome, so forth, so on. And now he said, you know what? Everybody gonna be a Christian. Everybody get baptized into Christianity. I'm gonna change everything about y'all. Keep going.
And every one shall leave his law. So all the heathen agreed, according to the commandment of the king. Yet many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Sabbath.
So many of Israelites consented to the religion. They say, you know what? We'd rather do this because if you remember when the conquistadors came over to Spain in the Middle Ages, what did they do? The Renaissance, they started baptizing, whipping us into Christianity. Pope Nicholas V, he signed a proper bull saying that create centers where we would be dumbed down in knowledge, remove the elders, throw them off the boat, strip them and raise babies from 3 years old and up. So these are things that were happening throughout the scripture. So to prove that even further, go to chapter 3. Go to chapter 3 and verse watch this, we'll start at 20.
1 Maccabees chapter 3 verse 20. They came against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us, and our wives and children, and to spoil us. But we fight for our lives and our law.
And that's what we do. They done came and stripped and took everything from us, but what we out here doing? We're fighting for the law. Even in the cold, the wind blowing, we've been wrapping up, I know. But the wind blowing, so forth and so on. But what are we doing? We're still out here fighting for the nation of Israel. We're still out here trying to put in the work for the nation of Israel. Trying, in the spirit of our forefathers, trying to raise up the so-called black man, Hispanic, and Native American. So realize we were taken captive with being disobedient. So watch this. Give me 1 Maccabees 8 and 1. We'll just read verse 1.
1 Maccabees chapter 8 verse 1. Now Judas had heard of the fame of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, such as would lovingly accept all that join themselves unto them, and make a league of amity with all that came into them.
So they made a league of amity of war. They made war between whoever tried to break their kingdom down. That's where you get stuff like the Vikings. You get stuff like the Titans. That's in I ain't gonna go. But the Titans and things of the Roman Empire. There's some more stuff. The Colosseum. This is where this stuff comes from. These same people. Watch this. Give me Matthew. You already. Give me Matthew 10:5. Matthew 10:5. Because now that we have went through the slavery, now let me speed it up to today. Now many people don't know who they are today because they went through that. Our forefathers joined to be Christians. They joined to be pagans. They joined to be witchcraft workers and worshipers. So now today, when you read the Bible, you think Israel is everybody. So let's find out.
Matthew chapter 10 verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, Go not into the way of the Gentiles, into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost